Okay, I'm speaking to Klaus Troitzsch, who just gave a very interesting talk at the ESSA Summer School. I wonder, first of all, Klaus, if you could kind of introduce yourself, the institution that you're from, and the group and role that you play there.
I'm coming from the University of Koblenz-Landau, where I've been working for, I think, 32 years now, and gave a lot of lectures on simulation and supervised a large number of simulation-related master theses and bachelor theses.
I wonder if you could just give a brief overview of the talk that you just gave.
Well, the talk that I just gave was about policy modeling. So it was something like, what do you have to do when you want to prepare a policy simulation? It is always necessary to talk about scenarios with stakeholders and get different worldviews from different stakeholders in order to find out how these worldviews can match and how negotiations of stakeholders can be simulated in a way to describe possible futures, plural futures, of a certain policy, including the fact that policymakers often mix up different topics and negotiate between different topics. So we are currently preparing a new suite of simulation software tools, starting from qualitative analysis of narrative scenario data, and translating these with computer support into a declarative formal language in order that we can replicate in the computer what our stakeholders told us and then show them the results in order that they can evaluate whether we understood them correctly and whether they are surprised by the results, for example.
Okay. Now, agent-based modeling is still quite a minority sport. And I know that you've been involved in agent-based modeling for a very long time, a pioneer in the area. I wonder if you could tell me, how did you get involved in agent-based modeling? How did you begin to work in this area?
Well, I think this was mainly because I found that any social process is done and initiated by the individual. So it is necessary to model individual behavior in order to find what emerges from the interaction among different autonomous agents, in reality actors, and we call them agents when they are software objects. So I think from the first few models that I wrote 30 or even 35 years ago, I tried to simulate the micro-macro link between the agents and a group, an organization, a society. So when we want to theorize realistically about social processes among humans, we must endow the software object which represent human actors with autonomy, with the ability of having models in their minds, in order that they can interact in a way that is similar to the interactions among humans.
Okay. Now, of the many problems and ideas I'm sure you're working on in simulation, if you could pick one current idea or problem that you're thinking about that you're interested in mentioning, could you do that? It's a difficult question, but...
Well, I think what I'm currently mostly interested in is where I started from 30 or even 40 years ago. I want to understand better how political negotiation processes work, and this is why I'm participating in this project on open collaboration in policy modeling.
Okay, and now another difficult question, which is not really fair, but if you could select one formative in your scientific career, one formative book, paper, talk, lecture, what would you pick?
I think there are perhaps two. A very old book on simulation to understand policy processes in home policy by Karl Böhret, one of my very, very old teachers 30 years ago, with whom I still have contacts. And another, I think, would be Coleman's Foundations of Social Theory.
Okay. And finally, perhaps you've already answered this in many ways, but if you could talk about or predict one possible policy application in the future for agent-based modeling, What would that be?
Perhaps this would be about, well, the way a nation talks about and tries to plan how to have a more sustainable energy provision. This is partly motivated by the current discussion in Germany about switching off our nuclear power plants and all the consequences that this might have.
Okay, well, thanks for talking to us and thanks for a very interesting talk.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.